Sitting about 60 kilometers south of Chennai, this small coastal town truly captured my awe. I mean, there are monuments which are 1400 years plus old, still standing tall. One of the 12 blue flag beaches of India is here. The most unique museums, crocodile parks, food and the vibes. Hi, I am Ismail and this video is going to be a crash course for you in visiting Mahabalipuram in Tamil Nadu. So grab a pen and paper because I'll try and not waste a single second of your time. There is a lot of information to share, but let's do it one step at a time. We'll start with places to visit in Mahabalipuram. There are about 23 major monuments and 15 other interesting spots that you could visit. And to help me explain myself better, I'll be using these two maps. You can also find a Google map link in the description below or right over here. Places to visit part 1, I'll take you on a short tour of all the major monuments, and for that I'm going to use this zoomed in version of Mahabalipuram map which I have made, which is about 5 kilometers around the town. As you can see, there are 3 major groups of monuments that you need to cover. It takes about 3 to 4 hours total time. I started my tour right from here, but you can do them in any order. Behind me are the 5 rathas or the Panch Rathas. These are 5 monolithic chariot-shaped temples carved from a single granite boulder. They reflect 5 different architectural styles, like the Buddhist-style domes or the tribal thatched huts, and the mixture of Dravidian tower temples mixing in perfect harmony. Attributed after the Pandavas and Draupadi, they offer insight into Pallava design permissions and artistic experimentation. To truly understand stories and details, you should hire a guide. An audio tour is also provided for every monument by ASI, which you can scan and listen to. Behind me is the iconic Shore Temple of Mahabalipuram. Built around 1400 years ago, this is India's one of the oldest structural stone temples, perched right on the Bay of Bengal. The structure hosted shrines for Shiva, Vishnu and Durga. Every year around January, there is the Mahabalipuram Dance Festival, organized here with cultural performances happening right in front of the temple. There is also the legend that this temple was one of 7 such structures and it was submerged under the ocean for hundreds of years before resurfacing. There are many more interesting facts and such details that you would truly experience best on location with a guided tour. From here, I went 500 meters inside this complex of monuments which hosts 19 different monuments. You would walk through a maze of boulders and monuments inside this complex to see them. Outside all these monuments, you would find vendors selling handicraft, souvenirs and snacks. Also a pro tip, try to visit all the monuments as early as possible because it gets really hot in the day and evenings might be cooler but a little crowded. So I entered from counter number 3, which is on the south side of this complex. You can also enter from this gate. So the first monument which I see as I enter this complex is the Olakaneshwara temple. It is also called the Old Lighthouse, which is a small structure dedicated to Lord Shiva over a hilltop. This temple is believed to also serve as the lighthouse in the older times with oil lamp. Then is the Mahisasur Mardini cave. The cave is situated right below the old lighthouse. This rock-cut cave depicts Durga slaying the buffalo demon Mahisasura along with Vishnu and Shiva on adjacent panels. The intricate artistry and peaceful ambience and the rock-cut art is so amazing considering it has survived 1400 years. Then is the Mahabalipuram lighthouse. Right opposite the previous 2 monuments is the new lighthouse built by the British about 100 years ago. You can enter the lighthouse all the way to the top and enjoy the view surrounding the landscape. Next, we have the Maritime Museum. A small museum beside the lighthouse showcases ships and lighthouse models, historical sea route maps, and local maritime heritage. It can be a short stop on this circuit. Then we have the Ramanuja Mandapa. It's another rock-cut sanctum with carvings and sculptures. It is linked to the philosopher Ramanuja. You continue walking on the trail and you reach the Royal Gopuram. It is believed to be an unfinished temple. There is a grand entryway built atop the hill with finely carved pillars and stonework. A short hike on the opposite side takes you to Draupadi's bath and Yudhishthir's throne. These 2 are small relics on this hilltop overlooking a water canal. Next, we have the Varaha cave. The Varaha cave is the shrine with a remarkable relief of Vishnu's Varaha avatar. It is surrounded by carvings of Gajalakshmi and Durga, a remarkable and the best finished structure from this period. Now, ahead on this trail, there is a small monolithic temple carved in pink granite called Ganesh Ratha. It initially housed Shivalinga. Now, a Ganesh idol sits in its place and puja is still offered in this temple. So, most of the monuments in this trail are all rock-cut caves and shrines, which means there was no structures built. They were carved out of huge granite hills and rocks and turned out into shrines, which is so amazing. Then you reach Krishna's Butterball, another iconic spot. This is a 250-ton granite boulder balancing perfectly on a slope for over 1200 years. Legend has it that kings and elephants have tried to move it but failed. Then as you walk ahead, you reach the Trimurti rock cut cave. Dedicated to Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, this cave temple features impressive reliefs of Hindu trinity carved deep into granite. A spiritual highlight amid Pallava rock cut architecture. Then Codical rock cut cave. At almost the end of this circuit is this modest cave shrine with simple carving. Now to visit the last few monuments on this circuit, you need to come out from this gate and walk slightly on this road, and that's where you will come across the iconic bas relief, the descent of Ganga and Arjuna's penance. This massive rock canvas spanning 96 feet wide by 43 feet tall is a glory of Indian art. It's one of the largest open-air rock carvings in the world. Close to almost 1,000 figures and icons recount two main stories from Mahabharata, Arjuna's penance and descent of Ganga from heaven. A guide will brief you on many intricate details in the entire story's depiction. The next two monuments, the Panch Pandava cave and Krishna Mandapam, are right next to the big rock wall. These two are large cave shrines carved into the rock with beautiful sculptures attributed to Pandavas and showing Krishna lifting the Govardhana hill. Now, 5 kilometers away from the town, there are 3 more small monuments which very few people visit, but I did on my trip, so here they are. These are Tiger Cave, Tsunami Stone and Atira Chandeshwara Shrine. The Tiger Cave, as the name suggests, has a dramatic tiger head carved rock mandapa, possibly used for performances or rituals. In the same premise, there is another cave temple and a tsunami rock which can be checked out. Now that completes the monuments tour. Now let's do a very fast run through all the other interesting spots. The pink ones were the monuments and all the yellow ones that you see are spots of interest around Mahabalipuram. We are back to the zoomed in map. Sitting just south of the shore temple is the Mahabalipuram beach. On both sides of the shore temple is the Mahabalipuram beach. You can access the Mahabalipuram beach from the shore temple ticket counter itself. This side of the beach has plenty of stalls, vendors selling snacks and souvenirs for tourists. You can enjoy a nice picnic here and you can splash in the waters, but it is not too safe for swimming. Then we go a little north to the shore temple, which is also known as the fishing or the surfing beach. So this beach is full of fishing boats, shacks, and this is where surfing happens. You access this beach from a road few hundred meters ahead of the shore temple. The road leading to this beach is full of shops selling art, leather products, sculptures and more. It also has a lot of cafes and shacks here, the details of which I'll give you in the food section of this video. You can splash around in the water at this beach also, but it is not too safe for swimming. Now regarding surfing, if you didn't know, Mahabalipuram is considered one of the best spots on mainland India to surf at because of the consistent waves for intermediates and advanced. But it can also be a great opportunity for all the beginners to try out surfing when here. So my friend Nitish has a surfing school called Mahab Surf and Stay right at this beach. I surfed 2 days with him and he is well equipped to teach beginners and intermediate surfers. He also offers board rentals and has a nice cute stay. This is not sponsored, just a shout out to a friend. There are other surf schools like the Mumu Surf School and Surf Turf Mahabalipuram that you can also consider while here. Nitish has agreed to give a great discount to all Explore the Earth subscribers, so make the most out of it. Okay, let's move back to the next interesting spot, the Arulmigu Sri Sthalas. Sorry, I'll have to use the pronunciation. Arulmigu Sri Sthala Sayana Perumal Temple. This is a grand Vishnu temple in town where puja is offered and used by locals. It is well kept with beautiful architecture, so visit to take quick blessings. Next up is the Seashell Museum. This is India's largest seashell museum with 40,000 seashells from over 6,000 species worldwide. They have made 6 more galleries for pearls, dinosaurs, fishing and more, all in the same campus. A very unique and fun visit. I was pleasantly surprised. Then there is the Sculpture Museum. This is a government museum housing over 3,000 sculptures from classical Tamil and modern eras, ideal for enthusiasts of stone craft evolution. So all the spots which I mentioned till now were in this 2-kilometer radius of the Mahabalipuram town. Now there are a few more spots which I'll take you on a tour of. So we go from south all the way to the north in this order. So we start with Tirukazukundram, which is about 15 kilometers inland from Mahabalipuram. This is a temple town hosting the hilltop Shiva temple with 500 plus steps, famous for eagle legend and Pakshi Tirtham tank. It's good to visit with the angle of spirituality. Then we go north on this map over here, the Tiger Beach. It's a small beach opening up near the Tiger Cave monument. Tourists spend a few recreational minutes here having snacks while visiting the monuments. A little more to the north is the off-road sports, a private vendor offering activities like ATV rides and paintball. Not the greatest of facilities, but can be a good activity to enjoy when in groups. Then we go 15 kilometers north of Mahabalipuram town to the Madras Crocodile Bank Trust. It's one of the world's largest reptile zoos and India's oldest, focusing on conservation of the species. Great for families and wildlife lovers. You can also witness crocodile feeding and live venom extractions at specific times. It's a worthy visit to be educated about conservation and life of different types of reptiles. From there, we go a little to the north and reach the Kovalam town. This is where you'll find the Kovalam Blue Flag Beach, which has the same name as the Kovalam Beach of Kerala. But this one is 20 kilometers from Mahabalipuram and also India's one of 12 blue flag beaches. You get this certification when you meet 30 plus different criteria for high environmental and tourism standards. It's perfect to enjoy a swim and a picnic as it has good changing rooms, showers, shelters, along with lifeguard on duty. In this town nearby, there is Surf Turf Kovalam, which also offers surfing lessons and stay for beginners. Over here, you will also find Dive Chennai, which offers scuba diving lessons. You will at least need half a day for a dive, and you can check the availability and other important details from them directly. Now, if you're worrying that you should have noted all this information down, don't worry, I have made your job easier. All this information which I had, I have put down in this neat little PDF which I have designed. All the places, descriptions, timings, contact details, the maps, pre-built itineraries that you can copy paste for your trips are all in this guide. You can get it from our website, the link is in description, or right over here. Your purchase will help us in making more such videos, and the guidebook will help you in sorting out your trip. Win-win. Now, near the Kovalam town, there are two more spots. One is the Muttukkad Boat House. It's a lakeside boating facility that you can enjoy. Canoeing, pedal boards, and water scooters are available in this scenic lagoon connected to the backwaters. And last on the list of places is the Dakshin Chitra Heritage Museum. It's a unique and interactive open-air living museum showcasing South Indian homes, crafts, folk traditions, and cuisine. To visit all these places, you would need at least 3 days, and if you're surfing, maybe a couple of more. But you don't need to visit all the places. You can pick the best spots from this list as per the time you have. At the end of this video, I will share my trip log, telling you in brief on how I visited these places and what I liked and didn't like about them. Maybe that will help sort your rightness. Pondicherry sits 100 kilometers south of Mahabalipuram, and a lot of people often combine both these destinations to make a little longer trip. Check out our videos on Pondicherry and Auroville to sort your travels. Okay, time for the next section. I promise to be brief and give you only the important information in form of lists. So let's sort out food. For breakfast, head over to Joe's Cafe and Coffee and Cone. Now, the beach shacks. They usually serve seafood and drinks. Here are the few that I like. The Sea Rock, Bob Marley Cafe, Seashore Rooftop, Santana Rooftop, Carlos Beach Shack. Next is some great hangout spots. They don't face the beach, but they have a nice vibe and offer food and drinks. Head out to Babu's Cafe, Buddha Cafe, and La Yogi. Lastly, if you need a premium dining experience, try out Marmoni's Beach Lounge and the Wharf Restaurant. And a few other budget options may be A2B and Arabian Grill. In the itinerary section of our travel guidebook, I have paired up the right restaurant with the itinerary, so you don't need to find which one to choose from. Next thing to sort out is your accommodation. That didn't work out as I needed. I will recommend options in budget, comfort, and luxury segments, which are in a decent location all around Mahabalipuram. I will be quickly listing them down as I show the photos of them. But to make your job easier, I will leave a link to a blog post in which you can find all the property links in these tables. You can find the link here or in the description. Let's get started with the budget category. As of August 2025, there were no hostels in Mahabalipuram yet. So, good value for money homestays or hotel options that you have are Mahab's Surf and Stay, Silver Moon Guest House, Daphne Hotel, Squirrel Nest Guest House, White House Beach Stay, Sri Murugan Beach Paradise Hotel, Catch a Wave, and Hotel Carlos. For a little comfortable experience, check out Mahab's Beachview Homestay, Ocean Pearl Beach Villa and Retreat, Bodhi Woods Resorts, Madras Chronicle Bay Resort and Spa, the Mahish Home, Hotel Mamalar Heritage, and Tamil Nadu Tourism's Beach Resort. And for unique luxurious experiences, go for Kaldan Samudra Palace, Radisson Blue Resort Temple Bay, Sheraton Grand Chennai, Welcome Hotel by ITC, and 4 Points by Sheraton. With your stay sorted, what you'll need help is in local commute and transfers, so let's sort that out next. I found renting a two-wheeler to be the best option as most of the places are clustered in a 2 to 5 kilometer radius. The ease of access and doorstep availability of a two-wheeler was best suited for the streets of Mahabalipuram. You can rent a scooter or a bicycle from these operators, Mary's Bike Rental or Jagan Cycle and Bike Rent. Your property manager will also be able to hook you up with a two-wheeler. The operators I mentioned will also help you in arranging a car if you need. Auto rickshaws are available all across the town. They will take you on a fixed touring rides showing all the spots or take you from place A to B as per your need. They tend to overcharge a little, so don't forget to negotiate. There are frequent local buses going from Mahabalipuram all the way to Chennai, and they will drop you down at Kovalam town also if needed. If you're willing, then you can also walk across the entire town and cover all the interesting spots in the 2 to 5 kilometer radius, but it might be a little exhausting. Let's quickly sort out your budget. Your typical Mahabalipuram trip can be of 2 days. So let's break down the budget for one person without compromising on comforts but also not going overboard. Stay for one night in a decent hotel will be about 1000 per night. Food for 2 days about 1000 per day. Bike rental or auto rickshaws for 2 days totaling to about 1000. Activities and tickets will be about 100 per day, and surfing or diving can start around 2000 per person. Boating can start around 100 per person. So rounding up your total cost for the 2-day trip will come to about 5000 barring activities like surfing or diving. Now I will be answering some of the frequently asked questions under most of our videos. Best time to visit Mahabalipuram. So if you see this chart here you can safely say that Jan and Feb are ideal for a visit for a cooler and clear skies. October to December is peak monsoons here, so be rain ready or just avoid going at that time. May to September is the next best time as it is cloudy with short showers on a few days which can make it for a pleasant trip. Next, what's the best way to reach Mahabalipuram? So Chennai is the nearest airport which is 60 kilometers away. Frequent bus connectivity is available from Coimbatore bus stop of Chennai to Mahabalipuram and vice versa. Other areas also have buses running to Mahabalipuram, but you will need to take some local help in figuring it out, the nearest stop and the frequency. Chengalpattu, which is 23 kilometers from Mahabalipuram, is the nearest railway station. However, not too frequent connectivity from all major cities would be available here. Very few direct buses will drop you all the way to Mahabalipuram from major cities nearby, so Chennai will be the nearest mode of transport for transfers. How many days do I need to properly experience Mahabalipuram? Ideally, at least 2 days to make the most of everything. 1 day for monuments and other spots, 1 day for trying activities like surfing or boating. Last question, how safe is Mahabalipuram? Overall, tourism is centered around monuments and there is more local tourists flocking in. Few international travelers also come here to surf. People are friendly and welcoming and are used to catering to tourists. They understand Hindi or English well enough along with Tamil. However, it is still not too commercial enough that facilities like hostels and group activities are available for all travelers. So let's say if you're a solo female traveler, you might feel a little uncomfortable by yourself as there are not enough chances to meet like-minded travelers at places like hostels or group activities, unless you do something like surfing. The locals, however, are very sweet and friendly, so don't worry on that. And this last section is a new addition to these videos that we are doing, which is our trip log. Here I'm going to comment about how my trip went, things I liked, I disliked, and my overall experience from this trip. It's going to be a little raw and unscripted, so bear with us. I'm in Bangalore right now after my trip. It's a cold, misty morning over here. So a little context about my Mahabalipuram trip. I went in the last week of July 2025 for 4 days and 3 nights in Mahabalipuram. I took a bus to Chennai. It took me about 2 hours through Chennai traffic to reach there. Same was my return journey. Now let's clear up some things which I didn't like on this trip. First, no hostels. So that limited my shared experiences and my budget also slightly went up because I was traveling solo. And secondly, the food in the beach shacks was a little overpriced. That was the extent of it. Now things which I really liked. First is the local art scene. So granite sculpting is really popular in Mahabalipuram and the government college for sculpting is also right in Mahabalipuram. At almost monument and tourist spot, I found local vendors offering small trinkets which they had carved themselves. And all through the town, you will see shops of sculptors and painters and small galleries of local painters, and leatherworks is also really popular here. And you can see people making shoes all across the town. And I got a custom sliders built from a shop called Senthil Sandalworks. And this local vibe of people making the items and then selling them directly to you is a nice feeling, and I checked a lot of them out. Next thing I loved was the main complex, which houses almost 19 plus monuments, is a really beautiful walk. Like, it's surrounded by huge trees and boulders and a small trail passes through the nature. It's really exciting to walk through those and just wait for the next monument to reveal itself in front of you. And just the sheer history and the legend surrounding all these monuments, like the Shore Temple being submerged under the water for a few hundred years, and the fishermen and the marine archaeological dives proving that there are row in still submersion under the ocean. After knowing all these facts and then walking through these monuments just gave me a different feeling altogether of the grandeur. Now my itinerary was something like this. I reached in the afternoon. In the evening I went to the 5 Rathas. Next day I started early morning, 6 a.m. I was at the shore temple. It was really peaceful without any crowds, and the sunrise was happening right behind the temple, which was nice. Then I had breakfast at Joe's Cafe, and then I just started the monuments tour. After lunch I rested for a while and then headed to the Tiger's Cave and wrapped up the Seashell Museum in the evening. Next day again for early morning session I left for Kovalam Beach. On my way back I visited the Madras Crocodile Bank. After lunch I did a surf session with Nitish at Mahab Surf and Stay, and next morning again I did a morning surf session, and by noon I took a local bus back to Chennai and headed home. If you have some more questions about my trip that you need to ask me, or are looking for travel mates, then you can join our Discord server and put up your dates there and find co-travelers. We shoot all our content on this camera that you are seeing. That's the Sony ZV-E10 with a standard kit lens of 16 to 50 mm. That is our primary gear. Along with that, we use the DJI Mini 2 drone. Since last 4 years, it has proven its quality. For action camera, we use Insta360 X4, and we use our iPhones sometimes. We're thinking of making detailed 5-minute videos about all these gears and tech and accessories that we have been using all these years on our travels. Let us know your thoughts on what you think of this series of videos that we plan to do. Some feedback from your end will really help us conceptualize it better. And we are back here. Now when you are in Mahabalipuram, please don't litter, be responsible, respect the locals, and don't do any stupid irresponsible behavior that might harm the monuments or the entire ecosystem over there. We have launched this new range of t-shirts on our website. Buy them and join this community of responsible travelers. And reminding you again, if you forgot to note all this down, don't worry. The travel guidebook is available on the website with maps, details, information, timings, contact numbers, property links, and all that in 10 pages. Get it from our website and make your job easier. We also post some great Instagram content as reels and pictures. Follow us there and stay in touch. Before you go, just subscribe and like this video. It genuinely helps in growing this channel and making more such videos. See you in the next one. Let's quickly move on to budget. Hey, need a better stand.